Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJ Trip, and welcome to the return of That's a Shoot. This is where I talk about the goings on in the world of professional wrestling. I put over things that I like, I bury things that I don't particularly like, and then, of course, we end this thing with a main topic where I talk about, well, whatever the hell I want to talk about most of the time. But yeah, Dr. Shoot has been gone for a while. And at least in this form, I've had some special Dr. Shoots, my WWE award ceremony, and some other things. But in its original iteration, um, it has been gone for a while, but it's going to be back now every Saturday. I'm going to be doing That's a Shoot, where I put over and bury and talk about a main topic. Or in a couple of weeks when it comes to the Royal Rumble, I will be doing my predictions. And this year is a different thing. I'm going to be keeping track of my predictions and whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong. So and then at the end of the year, 2020, we'll count and see where I was at. And I would advise you to keep track of them as well, because maybe you can beat me. Who knows? And there's been one other change in the original iteration of That's a Shoot. It was there was um, three putovers and three berries. Well, I've changed it um, to where there can be no more than five. Because with so much wrestling happening in the week, there's some good stuff that you want to talk about, and there may be some bad stuff, really bad stuff that you want to talk about as well. So what I've done is that I've said that I'm going to limit it to five putovers, and no more than five things that I like in putover, and no more than five things that I didn't like or hate in Barry. So that's where it's going to go down. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and let's start the new season show, whatever. All right, so now let's start as we always do with put over. And the first thing I'm going to put over is Drew McIntyre's new gimmick. I kind of love this. I think this is kind of a slow burn into a face turn for Drew McIntyre. He's come out, and he's last week he was calling himself like the sexy Scotsman and everything like that, and he's giving this crowd. And I don't know if it's like a thing for the Royal Rumble, what he's doing with the 3-2-1 thing, or what it is, but it's getting over it. He's having fun with the crowd and everything like that. So, and even though he's a heel and he's taking on the face guys, it is really really cool to see what he's becoming, and this is slowly surely becoming a face turn, I believe. So I'm enjoying what we're seeing for Drew McIntyre. I hope this continues, and I hope this definitely does lead to a face Drew McIntyre. Um, I loved the Fatal Four Way on NXT. Loved it. Um, loved the match. That they had. It was Dominic Dijakovic. Hope I got that right. Keith Lee, um, Damian Priest, and Cameron Grimes, and I think those four went out there and they put on a show. And Keith Lee won it. Keith Lee's he's been like ever since the Survivor Series. He really has been. And actually, it actually started. To be honest, it probably started before Survivor Series, really, right? When Keith Lee has been making his name, he's been putting on shows at the show at the show. So I think Keith Lee is a major player in the world of WWE, NXT, whatever. And I can't wait to see him, do bigger and better things. I'm hoping that does happen at NXT Takeover Tampa. Hangman Page in AEW. This has been interesting. They talked about a month ago that Hangman Page had left the elite, and this just like Drew McIntyre seems to be this slow burn into a babyface turn. Uh, this Hangman Page thing seems to be a slow burn into a heel turn, and it's been fun. It's been fun to watch it. He's been doing a little bit of the drinking, and but yeah, it's almost like this thing is that to cope with his whatever he's dealing with, he's almost drinking a little bit and drinking more than he should be. So I'm not sure where it is that they're gonna go with this. I hope they're not trying to go down the, he's a drunk storyline and the elite tries to help him and then he turns on him because he doesn't think he's a drunk. I just hope that it kind of just goes because James Storm drunk all the time in in TNA. James Storm was drinking all the time, beer money. That was their thing. So hopefully, I think that's what they're gonna go with. This is just a slow burn to just a regular heel turn, him turning on the elite, uh, so to speak, and then and then him having to deal with them, and not necessarily him turning on the elite because he's an alcoholic and he doesn't want to stop drinking. So don't want to see it go down that way. And finally, from SmackDown, Roman and Usos coming together. See, I like this. I like this. I not only do I like the fact that Roman and Usos are together now, I also like the fact that Bobby Roode has come back from his suspension, his drug suspension, and now we have like this 3-on-3 thing. Now we have Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode can go against the Usos while Corbin and Roman can go at it. So I like to see this, and I also like to see that I've always I think a lot of us did want to see Roman and the Usos come together. Um, there's a thing we call like the Samoan Shield, but I don't know if they necessarily need to do that. They call themselves like the Bloodline. I think that's okay. And yeah, so I want to see them get together. I want to see them, stand tall. And I think that's good too as well. Because I think with Roman's, he's still not as there's still some people who are still not into Roman. You could hear it on SmackDown last night where he was still getting some boo, especially when he was talking about winning the Universal Championship and things like that. That's something that again I'm not. You know, he should not beat the Fiend. He really shouldn't. Because you've done great things with Roman since he's come back, and I think what you need to do is you need to keep that going. He should not be beating the Fiend. So I'm kind of hoping that they are setting up Brock Lesnar versus the Fiend and let Brock Lesnar win it and have and that's perfect. Put all the heat on Brock Lesnar. He can take it. He wants it. He loves it. So I kind of want that. So Um, but yeah, I'm glad Roman and Usos are coming together. I'm glad they're gonna be fine. I would love, obviously, I think Tamina's on SmackDown. They don't like to split up married couples, so Naomi should be on SmackDown. So it could be the whole Samoan family, the Samoan dynasty, on in this on SmackDown. So I'm hoping that that is what's going to happen. So yeah, very good stuff from with bringing in Roman and the Usos, and the whole storyline as well. I kind of like them bringing back Bobby Roode and what they did to the Usos and Roman last night. And now to bury, and only a couple things to bury. The first thing we're gonna bury is on Monday Night Raw, the Eric Rowan squash, and this has been going on now for about ever since a couple weeks after the new Fox thing. There's been this Eric Rowan squash match seemingly every week, and he's come out with this thing in the can in a thing and in a cage like, and he's been talking to it, and people have been fighting over it, and they're trying to see what's in it and everything like that, enough is enough, right? If you're just doing this just to keep him on TV, I mean, I can understand that, but see, he doesn't need to be out wrestling a squash match. And what they even had this time is that they had the wrestler who he was wrestling. He put his face against the thing, and he came out with like as if he had as if whatever was in the cage had spit on him or had bit him or scratched him or something, and there was like blood on his face and everything like that. So I don't know. I really don't. So Like if you want to keep him on TV, I'm totally fine with that. The backstage segment he had with Mojo Rawley was good enough. That's all you needed. That's all you needed for him to be. He didn't need to have a rest. He didn't need to have a match. So we gotta stop with these, air growing squash matches. We really do. And but they're not gonna do it. I'm sure there's gonna be another squash match with it. The next couple of weeks, and there's gonna be something dealing with the Royal Rumble. So I'm intrigued to see what they're doing with this storyline, but I'm also I'm so ready for it to kind of hurry up and get to the part. Because like I said, he doesn't have to be on television squashing jobbers. He really doesn't. So I was down on that. And another thing I was very down on was the whole women's title situation in AEW, particularly the match and the storyline that came from the match. Um, I don't know why uh, the Nightmare Collective had to interfere. Why what they were doing? I don't know anything about it, and nobody does. All of the people on Twitter, all of the wrestling people who are watching on YouTube, like no one is really into this. They really aren't. They aren't into this. Brandy is not. She's not being. I don't know. It's not. Just falling flat with everybody, and no one is kind of getting into it, and it really did ruin this match between Chris Statlander and Riho. It was a pretty good match, and they started doing this, and then the guy came out from under the ring, and apparently it's some guy who's a Japan deathmatch, you know, legend and something like that. I have no idea who that guy is. I don't know. I don't know who Luther is. So it's there's a lot of things that are wrong with this, and the women's division on AEW is seemingly kind of stagnant right now, and so I'm not sure what they're gonna do. I am kind of interested to see what they're doing with Britt Breaker, because they had Britt Breaker kind of scream at Riho last week, and this week she was going to jump in the ring and but then they had to sit back down. So I'm really not sure what they're going to do, and so we'll all have to we'll all have to do what we need to do there. So but yeah, I'm kind of lost for words at what they're doing with the women's division, and the whole women's title thing this past Wednesday was just it really wasn't that well done. And now for our main topic of this episode: are the WWE Women's Tag Team titles necessary? I must admit, when they were announced that they were going to be Women's Tag Team champions, I was intrigued. I really was. I was intrigued. I was like, this could be good. This would just maybe give more women things to do in WWE, and I kind of thought that it would be a great opportunity, for that. But it really hasn't been all that you wanted, right? Because they started out, they put it on Sasha and Bailey, who were apparently the people backstage fighting for them, trying to get them to do them, and obviously they put them on it first in an Elimination Chamber match, and then we had the whole thing at WrestleMania when they put them on the Iconics, and Sasha and Bailey, they were backstage bitching, and I'm going to say yes, they were bitching. I believe that fully, because that sounds like exactly who they would be, who especially Sasha Banks, you know, I think that's totally who they are. So, and then the Iconics did nothing with them. They put them on Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, and they seemed like they were doing things with them. They were, when they had the title, they would wrestle on both shows and things like that, and then they put them on the Kabuki Warriors, and then Kabuki Warriors they were on both shows. They even went to NXT, defended them against Team Kick at one point. So I kind of thought, yes, they are trying to do something with these, but it doesn't seem like they have like they don't do number one contenders matches with players. Ever since the thing with Fox deal, right, and the Kabuki Warriors were drafted to. Well, I think they went down to NXT that one week to face Team Kick, and I think they may have been on SmackDown once, but for the most part, that's all that they have not. They haven't traveled. They haven't they haven't gone. They haven't been on SmackDown, a lot at all, except for that one time. NXT, and I don't think they really should travel to NXT. That's something I'm not a big believer in. I don't think you should be going to NXT, but okay, fine. They want to do that. They've been there once, and then they just been doing the Raw, and they haven't even been doing Raw teams. They've been embroiled in, you know, feud with a combination of Natalia, Lacey, Natalia, um, Lacey Evans, um, Charlotte, and Becky. And now, and I'm not sure if it's because of Kyrie's injury or if this was the plan altogether. But now we get Oscar in the singles feud for the Raw Women's title against Becky Lynch. So where when are the women WWE tag titles going to be defended, and they're going to be on television? So, and if Kairi Sane is injured and she is still recovering from her injury, okay, but then guess what? Then it's time to then what I would do is I would switch. I would take away the championship. I would strip them of it, and then I would give it to I would do like a tournament or something, because there are still tag teams there. There's Fire Desire on SmackDown. Um, there's still Sasha and Bailey they can go back at them now. I mean, there's still the Iconics who are on Raw, who have not been on television in weeks. You can put some you could have a some Franken teams. Dana Brooke and Lacey Evans they were teaming up against Sasha and Bailey. We've got Sarah Logan can team with somebody on Raw. I mean, there are many ways that you can go about it, and and try to make these and try to do something with the tag team titles, but they don't want to do it. It just seems like that they just created these titles to shut up Sasha and Bailey, and I'm sure they have big mouths, so you want to shut them up, right? But I don't know. I, at this point, I think they're more of a hindrance than they are an accessory to the women. I kind of think that you know what probably would be needed is a women's television championship that would float through all three shows. That they would float through all three shows, and I think that would probably be better than because at least they could, they would be it would you would have to put a woman on the television and have them wrestle, even if it's for 5-6 minutes, and give somebody some you know and give somebody some TV time. you know Even that would work. These tag titles are not. I don't. I personally don't think they are necessary. I really don't. I just think right now they are hurting more people than they are hoping more people get on television. And listen, it still can change, and I think there is a way to fix it. I think I just talked about. I think especially with Kairi Sane and Asuka. I don't know if they should have been a tag team to begin with. If anything, it should have been Io and Kairi Sane being the tag team. So I kind of think that what you really just do, right? What you really just do is you strip Oscar and Kyrie of the tag championship, and you put it up for grabs, and you create 6 teams. I think you put 6 teams and you put them back in the elimination chamber, and you do that, and you put them in there for the match in February, and you let them go at it, and especially with Naomi and Tamina can be, you know, they were already a team. They can be a team again. Um, I don't know if Nia Jax is back or not, but I don't know when she's coming back. But you know, I think her and Tamina would be a great, you know, heel championship. And I kind of see a lot of people wanted last year. A lot of people wanted Nia Jax and Tamina to win it, and then let like Bayley and Sasha Banks chase them for it. And I think that would be something to good. Except now it's not going to be Sasha and Bayley chasing for since Sasha and Bayley are the heels. It would be some other, and you can build up, a babyface team to do so. So, I personally don't think they're necessary, but I also don't think they are going away. Yeah, they didn't create them just for a year later to dissolve them. I don't think that's. I just think they need to be more cognizant and do more things with them. You know, and say, hey, listen, we've got 3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Saturday, and then we've got 2 hours on Wednesday, and then we got 2 hours on Friday. So at some point, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship should wrestle on one of those 3 shows, if not more than one. They should wrestle on one of those 3 shows. And so, but we know WWE, and once they lose interest in something, it goes on the back burner. You know, so I doubt that that's what's really going to happen. I think once they get through with this Oscar Becky stuff at the Royal Rumble, I think they'll probably just keep them on the Kabuki Warriors just until just until someone reminds them, hey, they have their time. They've been champions since September. You know, it might be time to switch them on somebody, put them on somebody else. So, but otherwise, it's not really working. All right, y'all. That is going to be it for this episode of That's Your Shoot. Once again, we are coming back every Saturday with a new episode. So make sure you are here. Click that notification bell. Make sure you know when I upload on Saturday. So and all my other videos as well. Few other things to do. I now have a Patreon, so make sure you look in the description box. The link is in there. Go sign up if you want to be a Patreon. Support me. You get some cool things. You get some suggestions. Maybe you would suggest, what our main topic will be for that to shoot. You can suggest other things as well. You can suggest maybe what a topic would be for my podcast, what a topic would be for something I play on Twitch and other things as well. So a topic for something for me to talk about in the word according to me or any of my other shows that I do here on my channel. So yeah, make sure you go and you do a Patreon. Those are for the high tiers, the $10 tier and $25 tier. You can also pledge $1 a month as well. So anything you want to help me out with to support me, support this channel, I appreciate it very much. So link is down in the description box down below if you want to sign up to be a Patreon. All right, y'all. That is it. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me about what you think about my putovers. Tell me what you think about my berries. And of course, let me know what you think about the main topic of the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. All right? Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJ Tripp, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. and I am out.